Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been told I'm doing the intro. Hi, my name is Wandom. I'm doing the intro. We're watching a Div 1 game. Bionicle versus the Finnish people. I'm not saying their name because I can't pronounce it. Again, my name is Wandom, joined today by Archrhythm. He's on production. There's also Dumb. Hi, Dumb.
Hello, welcome to the video game. We're all on intervention here tonight. Wandom from Pokemon, I'm from Smash, and Adam from Star Wars, I guess. And we're all having to distract ourselves from that to once, for once today, focus on something else, namely this game, which at the beginning of the season, I would have thought this would be like the big match, probably, right? The Finns coming in as the second place team, but not having really been looking like as stable as before. This season, and Bionicle coming in as a fourth place from last season, having quite the opposite of that, just remained with the roster pretty much entirely from last season, and it made all the difference. Everyone else shaking a bit around the rosters around them, and they've remained stable, and the results are showing that as well really, really nicely. One really close game against Virtus Pro at the beginning of the season, but ever since, looking pretty good, I would say, for them.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be said about sticking around for more than a season. So much of TF2 is all about synergy between your players, and sticking around for more than 2 or 3 months really helps with that synergy. Especially for soldiers. I'm obviously a soldier main. It's the only thing that I know about in this game, and yeah, like being able to have like proper good coordination with your soldier partner is so important and extremely crucial for the game. And I think like just being together for a while really helps.
Yeah, well, we'll see how much they can make that count. It's not like the Finns have necessarily changed too much as well. They changed, I think, a player and swapped some classes around. I like that, something to that extent. They need to make it start working, though. They have 4 points right now. If they want to make a shot at playoffs, that's still a good way to go here.
We are onto the first mid, and so far, both demos are really exchanging spam, but not a lot of damage has been done immediately. Both teams are rather passive, but Lost has jumped up onto the high ground so far. He's sitting on that bell tower. Not doing that much. The scouts are trying to contest him, but that's a really nice rocket onto Toast. He's so low, he's actually going down. But Aubriac has found a nice little pipe onto Earpa, but so far they're all locked into a corner. Dandere just left completely alone, whereas the rest of her team is just taken down. She's 60%, sorry, the enemy medic's 80%, but Lost is already in on her already. Mia's trying to get out, but she just catches 2 very unfortunate rockets for her, and decent, good, solid rockets from Lost myself.
Yeah,
takes her out.
Fight to start things off with, right? They just control the space so well. That's what we like to see in a lot of mid fights, especially in Process and Sunshine. You see that a lot, where like one team just really tries to force people into one narrow entryway to mid and just nowhere else to go, and they just hadn't had anywhere to go but back into Cafe, and they didn't do so in time. Me obviously not quite living at the end either. They left too late. Call was made too late, and now they have to deal with the consequences. Uber into last here.
Yeah, the Uber's popped out and they're spamming down the Sentry Gun already. Ekelund so far forward on the point. It's actually clearing a little trap. Dr. Phil's fallen down as well. They've lost 2 players. Lost and Kai have gone down. So is Horpy, but Potato is going down, but now Toast. He's finding the reverse flag to clean up frags. It's only Ekelund left alive. He's actually going to walk back in and try to find a nice little pick. Potentially onto Mia, doesn't quite find anything. And now, she's sitting on a nice little 50% ad. They've got second again, and because the Demo Man died so late, they can take second, potentially even mid. Depending on how these spawns work, never mind. They get that cap actually. Don't know if they delayed that spawn.
Maybe not. A very interesting approach though. We're very optimistic about the Finns, just like execution testing them immediately, just all jumping point, hoping they get away with it. Sometimes you can get away with it, this time not so much. Neon with the bomb can't get through, but they're playing careful about this entry into mid, and that's all the Finns really have to offer in terms of defense. Obviously, like you said, with this set right now, there's just so much you can do. They play it safe, they still don't really have though, and with 1 down right now, they might not only have to say goodbye to mid, but also to second.
Yeah, they do say goodbye to second as well, but it looks like they've managed to build the Uber up in the meantime, so giving up second might actually even be for the best. Never mind, Uber's popped in immediately onto Toast. They walk in through under. The counter Uber's popped out, but they've lost their Demo and Ekelund. Really nice kill there, but now in the post-Uber, Kai still has the Uber and he's managed to take out Dandere there. Also, Aubriac going down as well. That's pretty much the entire brunt of that push taken care of. If they build this, they can get up Uber at, but it looks like they're clearing out lobby, maybe wanting to push forwards here.
Yeah, maybe just the fact that they have these numbers, no heals on the other side, anything you damage and heal right now, can't allow the rest of the Bionicle side here to really keep fighting on second. So yeah, they just rely on that alone. Bust through here early. Phil with a bit more of a brave idea for the rest of the team. Jumps in off the point. Rest of the scouts following early as well, but they're not hitting the damage quickly enough.
Yeah, no damage is coming across, and that just means that everyone's kind of gonna fall. Don't kill any of the players. The Finns now find themselves with both scouts down on the enemy team. This means that they can push mid extremely effectively. These soldiers aren't really gonna get denied at all. It does look like, however, Mia somehow is gonna live. The counter aggression coming out from the Finns that just not really paying off, as now Ekelund have to fend off like a bombing in Dr. Phil there. Almost kills his own med. Hopi does have Uber, but it's only a 30% advantage. They're actually really far forward on the side of Boynikov right now. I'm not really sure what they're planning on doing.
I mean, with 2 down, they always have like the option of maybe trying to just force in, like get the force early. Doesn't quite come to fruition. They don't dare go in. As the pop into second comes out straight away, and it doesn't seem to catch much. Toast, the only one still in. Here comes the counter push though.
Yeah, this Uber's looking pretty solid so far. If they actually manage to kill Ekelund, please Toast. It's finally gone down, but that's bought the rest of the Finns enough time to get out. And I think now they might be looking to push with this demo pick. It's a solid enough pick, but Aubriac, he's still waiting for an arrow and choke. Finally moving through, but the Finns, they've positioned themselves extremely passively here. They know they can't really hold anything. But Ib, however, just completely dunks on Juno there as he tries to jump. Nothing else is really going to happen here, but Aubriac's actually managed to find himself in a really good position. He just raided so much damage.
Really great bomb by Lost. Everybody was focused on choke, and that still is happening. The damage is there. They clean up Ekelund, Scout all alone. Key dying as well. Toast doesn't find the wraparound as either. So, as much as that bomb was really nice by Lost, in the end, it still wasn't really enough to win them the fight, because they just didn't have position at all at the end of that, and without heals, Boynikov managed to play through that little bit of heal deficit they had for a short moment there. Now Mia's back up. Huge disad, but they got mid and second out of that. So there's ups and downs for both teams here, and now it's Boynikov turns to play the defense here and have to do it better against this full ad.
This push out from the Finns is actually extremely risky. If they lose a couple of players and this push goes awry, they're staring down a barrel of a massive Uber ad, but they've actually managed to find an early pick into Juno here. That does seem to be fine. They're taking up the second without even popping the Uber, which is probably the best case scenario for them. In the end, if they end up popping the Uber there into second, it could be like pretty easily go horribly wrong for them. But now Ypres, maybe it's the beginning of the end for them. He goes down, but Toast has been traded across and now fills in with the bomb. Doesn't actually get anything at all. Now Mia's 8%, they're backing off onto their own second, and it looks like probably walking into a stalemate here. Maybe the Finns are going to sack in a single player. 2 players are down for Boynikov right now. Toast finally respawned, but I think maybe this is a stalemate. It should.
Yeah, it really should. Neon, both soldiers actually just in there on the Finnish side. Get denied so much loss, but he still gets some good time out of this attempt. Not the rockets though, unfortunately. Neon just was the distraction here for Lost to go in deep. They're still denied nonetheless. And like you said, most of these pushes with Ad were very optimistic and very characteristic of Finns as well, just trying to never use to anything there. And like you said, if you still have to, that's really detrimental, and you have just so much disad right now. Worked out, they're on mid, bomb comes in by Phil, and they're dealing with it fine so far at least.
Yeah, Dr. Phil's going to be taken down again, but really, honestly, there's not that much to be lost by just keeping and sacking your soldiers. This is welcome to 2019, 2020 TF2. So all we ever do is just trade Roma bombs, trade soldier bombs in general. Like, Neon and Phil can just keep on going back and forth forever and potentially never really finding anything. I mean, both scouts are kind of positioned. Scouts on both teams are positioned in a way that they can just take down everything that tries to bomb in. And, nothing else is really happening so far. Aubriac kind of getting caught out there. He goes a bit aggressive into Cafe, tries to find like an angle, a peek, a pick onto something. Maybe they can push out of, but instead, no. Both teams are just grouped up on either side, on either point. Nothing else is really going to come of it. Juno is looking for an MGE challenge. Very risky if you know this man's evil.
Oh, here comes the fake into real bomb again. Lost myself taking it off of Neon's distraction. Still, everyone's so aware in these defensive positions nowadays. Even in Div 1, there's not too much a soldier can do, or at least should be allowed to do. It's really just a matter of execution testing your opponent, and if they're good, that shouldn't need too much. Here comes the counter aggression. Juno forward, Scout in as well. Toast gets behind. So they're trying to put on as much pressure as they can. Neon might get caught to Aubriac and Cafe after all said and done. Still weak. Toast comes in. Arrow quicker than Toast down, with Juno getting upper. It still might be good for Boynikov either way.
Yeah, Toast has actually managed to wiggle himself in behind there throughout the entire aggression, but unfortunately, he's managed to run into Lost myself. Now he's lost himself, but maybe he's just going to be able to find a pick onto someone. He's in onto Hopi. Hopi actually gets forced out there. Really nice place from Toast to be able to like recover that, because that was pretty disastrous for him. The Uber is now coming in from the Finns, and they haven't really managed to find any player on the enemy side. Dr. Phil's going to take down Lost as well, and now Boynicle probably, definitely, they should be looking for some counter-aggression here, possibly through the cafe, it seems. Looking to sort of brute force their way in, try to get an early pick on that soldier that's holding it pretty closely, but they actually managed to... They're probably going to get it for free, never mind. Neon finally finds a way to force the Uber. Now it's really good for the Finns, because the Uber's not going to last long enough for Boynicle to be able to push forwards into second.
Yeah, that was just... They spotted him on the one side of Cap, and he just immediately jumped back around. They just didn't expect it. So he just kept it on and kept trying to get in there for the force. Worked out eventually, like you said, big ad now for the Finns here. They just need to find a way to use it effectively. Or not, that's been the way they do it so far, right? They just want to get in here and not have to use it much later for when they really need to. So let's see if they can manage to pull through again.
Because the thing is, if they don't pop it in immediately and they don't find a way to sort of do anything with the Uber, they're just going to find themselves disad.
Ooh,
They've actually
everybody's
managed
feeding
to
in
find
though.
4 picks despite Soldier they're bombing in and actually getting a really nice force out of Horpy. But Mia, the important thing here is that Mia lived. Mia's like at 70% advantage. She's with a demo as well. He's actually pretty effective at zoning players out here. Orbriak, he's just sticking up every single choke point he can possibly find on this map, which there are a few of, and it seems like they'll be able to hold this. They have an Uber now. They're probably going to look to counter-aggress this again. This is basically a ping-pong situation. Walking back and forth, the Uber's popped in, everyone's grouped in choke, and that's a huge bump from Orbriak. Never mind, it's not at all. He finds a bit of damage onto the medic, but just hasn't been able to be followed up upon at all. Found 1 kill onto Neon, and that's disaster for Boynicle. Potato and Juno, the only 2 alive. Everyone else just gets completely denied by the Finns. That was beautiful from them.
Yeah, that was really nice defensive play. Body blocking the scout on the beam so he can't get to the medic and lower, while everyone else was just ready to deny and choke as well for follow-up. Potato the only one out of spawn, everyone else spawning just now, but there's an Uber in front of them, and they just need some flashes and good focus fire to clean this up. 2 down already on the side of Boynicle. The 2 are still fighting back as much as they can, but left standing is only Phil on the point, and Ippa with the sword is just too much to deal with.
That was incredibly unfortunate. That had the making of an incredible Orbriak frag clip, and it turned into absolutely nothing in depression. It's pretty much. Do you know in the video game Pokemon, Dumb,
yes.
when you use a nice little hydro pump, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna one-shot this Pokemon, and then it just misses and you die instead. That's what that was. We're on to the second minute of the game now. Lost is back on the high ground. He's actually done so much damage to the enemy scouts. However, a bomb from Juno does take down the demo man of the Finns, leaving them pretty much stranded. Epa and Neon both going down, as well as Lost. It's 2 up, Kai and Horpy, which means that they should be able to build up this Uber on last. Probably able to hold it as well. All the spawns are going to be there in time, but Boynicle already setting up in lobby here. Potentially looking for some aggression already. They're actually already in. There's still 3 spawners, not quite there. Norbriak is taking so much space here. They're just trying to peek this, get a little bit of spam across. Maybe find something, early damage, but Heavy's come out now. Boynicle are actually already in. There's so much capped on the point, already half capped already. They've forced out the Uber. Mia has not popped yet. Finally comes out, but 2 picks onto the side of Boynicle. Kai's in behind as well, and they're just going to use this Uber to rather tragically just walk it back out.
I really like the idea for Boynicle, just fly in with the force on the soldier while having somebody run point, and if you don't use to one and you have to use to the other, I think they really would have been better off either being quarterback with the rest of the combo, or like quicker, or just pop in sooner themselves and try to save some lives here. It ended up not quite working out that way, unfortunately, so we're trying to execution test the other team about the force and cap situation. They kind of just faltered themselves, made it harder for themselves in the end here. Well, not too much, it's like 10 disad, if anything, so it's not too bad, but still, obviously that wasn't the intention here at all. They have to find an option to play through this again, and maybe this time the Finns will be a little bit more ready to deal with whatever they have coming. And now there's a gun as well, which obviously massively changes how this all plays out.
Yeah, now they're going to aggress onto right side again. They've actually managed to find an early pick onto Lost, but Toast goes down in the trade there. I think probably that's just going to that's going to spell the end of the push. Never mind, actually, Neon's gone down. Some nice little spam there from Juno, but that gun is just so difficult to take out. You have to take it out so early. It's incredibly difficult to take out on that right side. Dr. Phil's actually managed to find it, so now the push might actually be back in on the cards. However, Ipper on this heavy, but there's so much cap time. Potato's going to go down for it. There's no scouts with them at the moment, and that should probably just call off the push there. They're going to hold outside. 1 scout, apparently enough to scare them outside of lobby.
I do really like both teams just forcing out of like point pressure, really, which allows for such a good repush here. Now, you're using an early Toast still dies though.
Yeah, Toast is dead, but the enemy team doesn't have Uber. Everyone on the side of the Finns is incredibly low, but there's nobody in from Boynical. Not quite yet anyways. Juno has actually managed to find a kill somehow. That's nothing short of a miracle, as the soldiers on the side of Boynical somehow not going down. They're both so low, but they've done so much work there. Bomb in from Juno and Dr. Phil really just saving them. Coming back in after that, Uber popped out immediately. Wasn't that good. Didn't really find any kills. But they jump back in, find the kills post the Uber. Get
Yeah,
the
sometimes
round
all you
off
need
it.
is just a nice rotation there, a quick repush. Well, it's not really quick, right? They were fairly late, but not too late, and that's sometimes all that matters. Just riding this fine line between failure and success. They found the middle ground this time. Let's see if they can continue doing so. It's still tied now.
Is tied and lost this time. Has opted to sit on his own cafe, but in the meantime, April's just gone so low. Ekelund actually brought down to incredibly low HP as well. Nice little pipe there onto Lost as he tries to bomb in, recover maybe some sort of pick. Taken out of the sky, and now Juno finds a kill onto Horpy somehow. There was a scout with him that entire time. It's a bit tragic, as now Kai, April are going to be looking to find a kill onto someone. They're ganging up on this poor scout. Abra's gone down already. Toast doesn't get the 2v1, but he has delayed this long enough, because now Kai is going to walk back up into Cafe and find just the entire enemy team. He's actually just going to two-shot Potato. Never mind, get down. There's still so many players. What else can he realistically do? He's already done so much. He's delayed this cap for so long. Enough to distract the enemy team for completely even possibly thinking about Neon being on Spy right now.
Alright, I don't know what's up with the Finnish justice system, but how is this a man just being allowed to get away with murder so much? Like, this should not be happening. Boynical is just getting outplayed by Kiel 4 times in a row now. Well, it's just way too much. They finally take a 2v1, which seems much smarter as trying to take mid as well. In the meantime, simultaneously, this happens that they need to make it work, but Neon gets the Demo Man.
Wait, what does he say? I'm gonna gut you like a Cornish game hen? Is that what he says?
Maybe. I don't know, I don't speak Finnish, unfortunately.
No, the Spy when he taunts.
Oh, the Spy.
The Spy
Never
when he
mind.
taunts.
I thought that was a chat.
Oh,
That would have been funny too, to be honest.
It's like a Finnish insult?
But only when you kill people on Spy.
Only when you kill people on Spy.
How did Toast get
Somebody's gone
behind?
behind, actually. Now Toast is trying to do his best Kai
Who's
impression.
the real Spy here?
Yeah, the real Spy main just gets 2-shot by Kai. Okay, never mind. We're back into the fun.
It's like four actual 1v1s in a row. Here's one now.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. There's actually a soldier bombing in now. I'm trying to recover any semblance of actual coherence we had going on in the cast. Neon tries to go for a Dandere pick, but ultimately ends up doing about 30 damage to Mia. So she's just back alive. No big deal. And yeah, there's a soldier back up. I feel like we've been in this situation before, actually. There's,
Yes.
I don't think we're going to see that much happening, especially now when it's 1-1.
they're
There's
trying
nobody
to
really
play close on
incentivized to do
Boynical. There
anything.
might be something more happening than just bombs. So playing forward with combo cafe, Soldier jumps in nonetheless. Poppy stuffs it really nice. He still takes 100 for that. No one has heals now, though. If they dared a little bit more, maybe that would have been just the push they needed. They still get lost in the end. I don't think they should have just waited there. 5 people just without heals and already kind of weak. In the front lines, Hoppy just all the way in lobby.
They're walking back in through flowers right now. That soldier pick apparently is enough to push out of. Especially maybe even the second soldier pick. Now it's definitely something you can push out of.
Well, Phil's already on the case, gets Ekelund for free. There we go. Catches one unaware without a team around him. Will die for it. That's a double pick, though. That might just matter enough. It's 2 down each, though. I don't know if they really want to dare. You could, but obviously at this point it's a lot more risky.
They're actually opting to push out of Cafe here. This Demo Man is pretty much the prime reason that you can't really push Cafe under normal circumstances, but now they're going to have to actually win. Like, Potato's going to actually have to win a 1v1 versus Kai. But Kai gets Ubered before he even gets the chance to do anything. Now this Uber's popped out on both teams. Juno's gone down in the meantime as he tried to flank behind, but Neon just kind of found him in that lobby area.
Alright, the Evers
Bionicle
have
just
faded.
forced it back out here.
Yeah, the Evers have faded. They fall back with Juno down, trying to play it safe again. Interesting that they just decided to pop through there. Maybe they just figured these sacks are not doing enough for us. We just want to go this like use this as a straight up approach here with the exchange and try to play for a good postable position, but they just couldn't get much further in than like the small little bit past Cafe, and at that point you just are not in a good position to play from anymore. You're so jumpable, you're not fine enough to really force like anything out of the other team either. So probably the right call to make even without losing one, with one down especially, however. And now exchange is over, its viewers are fairly even as well. If they want to just surprise pop here, that's not really an option they have too much.
Yeah, Potato's actually going to wiggle his way in behind. I think they're playing the long
Ooh, the
Kong,
force
but
comes out
Toast
though.
finds a nice little kill onto Neon there. This is really good for them now. The Uber is forced, but they can get the force out in the meantime, especially now that Lost has been dropped as well, along with Ipa. This is looking pretty good for a repush. Finally, there's 3 down on the Finnish side. Probably looking to take Lobby here, at least they should be able to. They're probably not going to be able to take Lost. Neon's already back up. Lost and Ipa should be on the way shortly as well. They finally managed to take second there. Unfortunate for the Finns, to be completely honest.
Yeah, first try wasn't so great with just a straight up Uber in, but this time, much better. It was the awkward situation where they were willing to pop through Flowers very much anyway, while the Sag came in, so in their perspective, they pretty much just got a free kill. And couple that with like actually getting the free kills elsewhere on the flank as well on top of that, just makes this whole situation even more lopsided in the favor of BoinEclair. Now, stalemating yet again. Obviously, it was an exchange where both minutes live used pretty much at the same time. So, it's still even. Both teams waiting for something to happen, and in BoinEclair's case, that means Toast sniping for now.
Toast is on that sniper. He is known as, apparently, as the guy who made Gunspy good. So I'm assuming that everything he touches that has hit scan, he's just going to be really good at.
Except when he's 1v1ing key, I guess. But that's besides the point.
If he apparently gets time frozen.
Oh, that works too. That is a very powerful weapon.
It's a very powerful spell that we saw casted by the Wizards Guild last week. Maybe they're expanding their magic. It's like, have you played Skyrim?
Who hasn't at this point?
You know in the Mages Guild quest, when you find that, like, blue orb thing? Spoilers for Skyrim, by the way, guys.
Oh no, how dare you.
You find this really weird thing, and then these guys come out who are like the super mages, and they just like freeze time and start talking to you, and you're the only one who can see them. Maybe Mac is here somewhere talking to someone on one team, informing them of the situation, how to approach. Maybe?
That would be a next level conspiracy that I think we need Bumfries to like report on. I think that's the only way we can know for sure.
I don't know if Bumfries has that deep of a connection with the Wizards Guild.
I think he does. I think he really does. I think he's secretly one of them. He just doesn't let us know while playing in Div 1.
He's an undercover Wizards Guild member?
I think that's what's really going on here, but he wouldn't report on it, right?
I mean, you could. There is an argument to be made that Bumfries is the looker of TF2, you know? So, like, he's an international policeman, undercover.
Uncovering everything that's happening in Premiership.
Yeah.
That already got
I keep
uncovered
getting these weird
in
messages about
Post 4.
kind of being disconnected from the server, but then they disappear again.
That
And I'm
sounds
really
sketchy.
scared.
I would like to do my magic trick where I click on the server information I have up and see if it's 11 on the server or not. I don't think I can do that right now because I was not smart enough to open the window beforehand. So let's see. Wait, never mind. Is this the thing? It is. Okay, it is a DC. Sometimes it's just, you know, somebody has like awful connection for a second. They pause until it calms down or something like that. No, somebody actually disconnected from the server, intentionally or not. We'll get to find out. Maybe, I don't know. Obviously, the easy call to make is, oh yeah, somebody just crashed. What if Toast just gets a headshot here and somebody rage quits? That would be a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, can I find out who it is? I'm not good with names. Well, I see 6 Finns, so it must be somebody in BoinEclair. Wait, the name just disappeared from my list again, so I think somebody joined and then left again. That's strange. But it must be somebody in BoinEclair that's having some issues, which always unfortunate. It doesn't seem to be Mia, so that's good. Assuming, you know, the stalemate stays intact right now, you know. Pause obviously doesn't happen right now in this very moment in the game. Because of SCV delay, it happens like a little bit later, after the pause ends. For those not aware. Which means that, you know, something will happen here. And then like a minute later after the pause ends basically is when the pause really happened. So if the stalemate is still intact in like a minute and it would be the medic timing out, that would be like really awkward for everybody. More often than not, you see people just like gentlemaning to just not push off of like an unfair advantage basically. That shouldn't be there with a medic DCing and technically dropping, right? More often than not, you see people like not doing that, which is really nice. I think this season, in all the games I've seen, people have been really good about stuff like that. Even when I was watching, like, I think it was a mid game, and the team was like losing by 2 rounds and still didn't decide to do it, which is really nice to see, just good sportsmanship.
If there's anything that comes to mind when I think of the Finns, I think of absolute gentlemen. So we are unpaused. So now, we're looking at Toast aim at a wall, which, usually not the most productive task of all time. This isn't Call of Duty, you can't shoot the medic through the fence. But, you know, you can try to wallbang him. It'd be really
probably
funny
some
if they made a
walls where you
weapon that
could
do that.
Ooh, never mind though. Neon goes down, Juno quickly taken down on the turn, which is really unfortunate. You obviously want these kills on team with the sniper to just open up more angles for yourself, get more space into last, and just put on more pressure. And as we've seen so far as well, these teams really like to just get onto the point early and force like things out of just a position on point in these like even last situations. So that's something they probably are trying to play around. Obviously not happening right now. Phil trying to still make stuff happen all by himself. Heavy Irpa not letting that one get through, and in the meantime Toast couldn't have used the distraction either, unfortunately.
Yeah, the thing with the sniper on this last point is that it's actually super difficult to really get in a position when you have a proper sight angle onto the medic. Especially when he's standing behind the wall like that, you have to get so far forward, so even, like, not even potentially just kill the medic, but even getting a shot on the demo or something is pretty difficult. Did see Toast go for a few of them, not really hitting any of them. The strong heavy man is on last, which means that there is an infinite amount of damage that has to be dealt for Bionicle to potentially get this push.
Alright, in case you weren't aware, because he's just standing there, it is in fact Phil timing out happening right now in the STV as well. So that explains why that was happening, which probably begins for a hot second here while they, like, in STV time are pausing the game. There won't be much happening until he's back. He disconnected once immediately afterwards again, so this should take another few seconds, but I mean, we've seen the Finns already not do anything. They're probably not going to take advantage of it too much. Just nice like that. That being said though, Neon's on Spy, so while they're not actively doing something, they're at least proactively at least getting Neon in the backlines, and then the moment they decide, yeah, it's fine to play again, he's already there.
Dr. Phil is also on the battalion's backup this time. He's going to be looking to build up a banner, potentially get post-Uber situation that's maybe a little bit more favorable for them. Neon is finally uncloaking. He's onto Mia, and she finally turns around. We try to pistol, doesn't even get it.
Hawk died in the meantime though, they just stacked the last while that was happening. Tematic died on the other side while the spy play fails. Really huge play there. All while their own just didn't work whatsoever.
So now they're going to push in. They still have a sniper, which is not that good, but there are 2 players down for the enemy. They have to go right now. Kai actually does a really good job there. That delay is super, super important because it allows the older 2 team members to come back in and come back up and be alive again. Now the sniper finally gets a headshot onto the heavy. Finally useful, finally does something. He's so far in, he's going to have to get a lot more done. There's not enough damage quite coming out. It's just Ekelund and Lost finally still alive. Kai is actually back up. They haven't managed to find the kills in time. 1 headshot is all that it takes to get this round cap. But apparently Toast, he just hasn't really been able to find any of the headshots, and now you can really feel the sniper kind of burning them on the side of Bionicle. He's on the hunt
for the medic. Yeah, running away from the second point all alone. Toast not with her. Actually the one getting caught out here alone. Spawns come in just in time. Potato saving both of them potentially there. He just a bit too slow. And with that already happening, it's very likely the Finns won't be moving out of last year anytime soon. 6.5 minutes left to play. They do have a little bit of advantage just due to that early force by Key earlier. And like you said, what a valuable force that was as well. Because Bionicle just got so stuck between like the force happening and just wanting to play slowly. They just popped, but still played slowly into last. Couldn't catch much at all. Were obviously not successful off the back of that. We're still in the same stalemate though. While it was good enough for them to hold on to this point, it won't be good enough to get them out of here quite yet with the even situation still at hand.
You're gonna have to start asking yourself about whether or not Toast should just go in for a ridiculous sort of hero shot, because he's trying to snipe out on this left side, sorry, but he's just not really, like, what does he even find here? Maybe potentially a soldier pick. You can see every single member of the Finnish team doing everything in their power not to be in the sightline of this sniper, except for Lost. Lost doesn't really care. If he dies, it's kind of whatever. It's just 1 soldier pick, and he's doing so much to the sniper. It's kind of worth for him to stand really close, kind of deny everything that he's doing. But I think Another thing to consider this entire time is Juno is probably getting the biggest log of his life right now. Because the entire enemy team is just stacked behind that wall, he can sit on that top right.
Ooh, never mind.
and just
He goes
get
down though.
every single spam rocket in the game. Goes down, but he trades with a soldier, which means he's basically done nothing.
Toast
as it's
really
even,
eat
but
that,
now
but
Toast
it's dead on.
has
Eklund
peeked
is
a
aware
little
of
too
it, yeah.
far.
Yeah, like you said, these BP angles obviously is what you want on Sniper, but you never should get them for free, and the Finns showing why, and they are aware of it. On one side, the soldier spamming, like I said, on the other side, Eklund just waiting with a trap. So they're not really letting that much happen in that regard, but they resigned themselves to the Sniper play. They have to make it work, they have to make space for them successfully, or at least abuse the space that they're getting out of the Sniper side lane just being such a threatening thing for the Finns to deal with.
Yeah, but Juno's gone down as well really early on. Meanwhile, Neon's on Spy, but he's found himself in a little bit of a precarious situation. He's standing between the spam of both teams. It's kind of hard to actually get forward without like accidentally bumping into something. But it looks like Bionicle just gonna come into him instead. I'm sorry, I should be saying Bionicle right now, but I'm not, because it's easier to say Bionicle. I've said it my entire life, and I'm really sorry to anyone who's offended by it. But Toast finds a headshot onto Kai. Neon's back in. He's onto Orbriak. Doesn't actually get it at all. He's just gonna fail stab. One too many times. He actually gets that alive at 18 HP. And now you ask the question, how many times do you have to play Spy for them to not notice anymore?
They get Eklund with that, or Phil jumps in, finds the Demo Man, Juno in with it as well, more damage.
Phil.
Another one, Neon in for the force, but at this point, is it just too little too late? They pop immediately through as well, so is that still worth it? Eklund might spawn, Lost will still be down, they just need to have a good repush, and they're a little bit shy about it, but they're still coming in nonetheless. Bit of damage meeting them by Neon, but this should be like a potentially good play.
The important factor of this repush though is that Toast has to hit a headshot on someone for him to be worth it. He's found the kill onto Ip, and now he has to do a little bit more damage than just a 50 damage body shot for him to realistically be able to have enough damage to actually push the point and win. Because he doesn't actually find that much damage, there's not enough damage to convert into kills on the side of Bionicle, and they just have to back out. Toast is actually probably going to go down as well. Never mind, he's just gonna rail down Eklund real quick, and now there's a demo pick on the side of Bionicle, so they're going to look to repush. Walking in through Cafe, they don't have a demo with them quite yet. Toast is getting such a good sightline there onto the soldier. Doesn't quite find the headshot, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Lost gets out there more times than he doesn't, but we're back to where we were before. Even Ubers, both teams are alive. There's a heavy on the side of the Finns.
Yeah, and Toast still sniping, trying to make it work. Only got one on last push. That's one to start things off with. A little bit more space. Tries to peek in deep immediately. People standing behind the wall safely for now. Can Rest of Bionicle take advantage of this position though? That's something they've been struggling with so far, I think, the most in the sniper situation. They just, a lot of the times you see people just try to take a lot of space, like deep into last, the moment they have something with the sniper going. It's just not quite happening. They're keeping them in check. Eklund with stickies and the rockets from the soldiers as well. Here come the double bomb though.
Yeah, the double bomb is in onto Hopi, but this time just gonna get completely shut down by the heavy. Hopi actually manages to catch a pipe or a sticky or something as well. During that, he actually drops pretty low for a second there, but he's back into spawn, he's back onto full HP. At the end of the day, you kind of have to figure out, like, you kind of have to, like, guess that at the end of the day, like, okay, so loss has gone down, but even if you take the space for the sniper also has to hit the damage, hit the headshot to actually be worth taking the space for. Because otherwise you're just kind of holding an unfavorable position, you're not getting any damage to convert. Just kind of bad, just ending up like giving the enemy team really nice logs and not doing anything for yourself.
Alright, I was about to say, on the finish side, do you just play to not lose here right now anymore? With this little time left, surely winning is really difficult and maybe not even possible anymore. Finally, this double bomb.
Oh my god,
so
Juno
much
just
though.
hit the bomb of his life there. That was absolutely crazy. It's, Kai goes down as well. There's just 3 up. The medic dropped as well. Huge rockets from the side of Juno. There's still stickies on the point. They haven't quite been cleared yet. This soldier's actually doing a lot of work distracting. It's just Eklund on this point. Tato finally gets it down. There's another round for Bionicle. It's 1 minute left.
The Finns might just have
They
been
have
robbed.
to get around. I think it's pretty much impossible. I don't think it's possible to get round 52nd, at least like realistically. Unless Bionicle somehow managed to do something really funny and just like wipe and then wipe again, I think it's pretty much over.
Yeah,
for
this
the
would
Finn.
have to be the sickest round of all time. And granted, sometimes it happens, but with a team as good as Bionicle, you really wouldn't expect to see that right now. They are really slow to mid though.
I mean, if you're looking at a team with none other than Dr. Phil, known for holding like Badlands last as a demo man by sitting on top of point and just standing there for like 10 minutes at a time. That's a really funny video, by the way. If you get bored watching here, you should go to Onkaya's channel. He has a really good video of Dr. Phil holding last on the old Lego team, where what he does is he just like sits AFK on top of point for like 10 minutes. It's very funny to watch. As that should be GG. As the Finns have been completely wiped. Map 1 for the side of Boinacall. I'm actually pretty surprised. I thought this would be a lot less close, to be completely honest. I didn't actually think that the Finns would try hard, but apparently they just care. So that's good.
Yeah, I guess they're just not all happy with the results so far. It's just that it's tough to have that change of mind, like when you're about to play like one of the top teams this season, I assume. And it was still this close in the end with that sudden change of heart here, with how much work they put into this. Absolute robbery. Key might have gotten away with murder, but Bionicle just got away scot-free with just stealing that last round away with just one good bomb at the very end to close out this game with.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, those bombs from Dr. Phil saved Boinacall more times than I can count. That was, pretty crazy, as I am opening up some logs. I don't know about you, but, they're looking up to be about what I expected. I'm not gonna lie. Nobody's over 300 DPM. Nobody's over 250 DPM. It's one of those games.
Yeah, but then you still see Juno and Dr. Phil like really high up there, and they're just,
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them constantly go for these bombs, and if you keep letting them get through, eventually they will work, and that's really the story of this game in the end.
Really is. I think they really were the difference maker. I don't think that, like, it seemed like the scouts were pretty even. The logs seem to be telling the same tale. Kai actually played really well. He went 26 for 10, which is pretty good. It's not quite a Thalash log, but it's definitely a Kunu log, which is, it's pretty good.
Well, I mean,
know?
if you have to play anti-air gun the entire game, you better be good at it. And I've been, let me scrolling, 15 kills on soldiers total, most on any class anyone has gotten. So they knew what they had to do, but eventually it just wasn't quite enough for them, as well as they kept these soldiers in check.
Yeah, another thing to note is that the deaths on the side of the medic pretty much even, except for the fact that Hopi managed to drop twice. Both of the medics actually popped the same amount of Ubers, which I'm actually surprised that they both popped the same amount of time. The only difference, obviously, being that Hopi decided to throw both rounds by dropping Ubers to bombs from the soldiers. Which, I mean, honestly, it's got to feel pretty bad as a medic. It's not the ideal situation to know that you've probably kind of thrown the game. But, you know, it happens. You're the medic, and sometimes Juno has 2.3k elo, and he bombs you, and then you lose.
Well, the unfortunate situation for medics is always that it's just so much more apparent when you have like a fairly obvious mistake like that, because it just like immediately just has a ripple effect on your entire team, how things play out, and it's just so much more obvious than when other things like that would happen. Like if there's just like a sticky trap or a demo man just would be able to kill your entire team, no one noticed, because if he doesn't that, then nothing happened, right? But he could have had that opportunity. And that's like a similarly big mistake, right, in comparison, right?
Yeah, it really
Things
is.
like that.
I mean, to be honest, I think I'm looking at these heal logs a little bit more. I think the real difference is the fact that Aubriac got 63 more heals than his counterpart demo of Ekelund did, really making the big difference and securing the game for Boinacall there. Which now, we're at a bit of downtime. I need to point this out. I'd posted it in chat earlier, but I think we have to remind everyone once again that we had to explain last week when I casted the other Bionicle game, I had to explain to Beta what a Bionicle was, because he somehow, despite being a Dane, and despite knowing what Lego was, didn't know what a Bionicle was, which I'm honestly quite impressed.
I think that's blasphemy.
And a bit saddened.
Me, as the 4th place Bionicle GBA speedrun time holder, I'm very saddened by this. Out of 5 people.
Yeah.
Time still not accepted, by the way. Please get to that leaderboard holders. Thank you. I'm very sad.
If you're listening, please help my friend get his 4th place Bionicle speedrun. It'd be great. We're on to process now, which honestly, do you not just think that this is going to be more of the same?
In
they
a lot
play
of
pretty
ways,
similarly.
yes. Like in a lot of ways, I would certainly expect to see a lot of the same things, but this season has been really weird. Like so many times this season, in various divisions, I watched like this same like map rotation right this week, and I don't know. I had so many matches where like the first map was just heavily one team's favor, and then the second map was just like so close. It could easily be the same, but all it needs is just like one change in like how things are being approached by one team. If they like found out something that they just couldn't get to realize much last map, that it just immediately swings this into their favor here. So on paper, yes, definitely. In practice, it's a lot harder than that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between Process and Sunshine that I don't know if we actually have time to go into. Fins have readied up. I'm just kind of waiting for Bionicle here, but there's like the mids are kind of similar, but again, not really. I mean, at the end of the day, they kind of feel the same. Especially the last, to me, they kind of feel equally hard to push in a way. Like there's so much ground for the pushing team to actually get to cover, and as we play this game more and more, it's becoming apparent that pushing in this game is just genuinely way harder than holding. And what we've seen so far, we might be in for another really fun one.
At bare minimum, this is definitely the 2 closest any 2 maps we have in rotation, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. But we are live this time. Let's not be naysayers quite yet. We are live with the second map. Aubriac, however, does flop a rollout a little bit. He's actually stuck in choke. Almost like gets taken really low by that soldier spam, early soldier spam as well. But now he's finally back in. He's gonna try to shoot Echelon already, but nothing's quite happening quite yet. Everyone's kind of posturing as the double soldier bomb. Never mind, it's just a single Dr. Phil bomb finally comes in. As Neon actually manages to kill a scout on top there, that's really, really good for him. Of all the soldier outcomes you can have, it's kind of excellent, but there's just a scout. Toast gets in onto Horpy, finds the kill onto him as well as Echelon unfortunately misses a lot of pipes.
Alright, I don't know if you saw that, but at the end of that, while everybody was chasing the medic, and I guess also getting it, I think it was Lost Myself, jumped the combo, and like, Via was on like 5 HP, he shot his last rocket, and Aubriac, the hero he is, just body blocked it before it could splash onto her, and she didn't die. So Aubriac, sure, he might have been late a bit, but he made every second he was that count.
Pouring one out for my man, as Potato has found a sticky trap from Echelon, and now Toast is going to fail at some basic tier 2 parkour and fall down lower. Wait, maybe it's intentional. They're moving into a lobby. This is actually peeking this. They found the sentry. They do have a big ad, but also no scout. Potato is dead. They finally spammed out the sentry gun, but they're gonna have to... I'm actually really confused about why they're pushing this already. Spencer has gone down, and they're just clearing sticks on the point. There's no real presence on us. The demo's not really in at all. Ape is gonna go down as well. This is 2 free soldier picks on lobby. Everything is dying on the side of the Finns, and this is gonna be 1-0 for Bionicle there.
Well, this should answer your question as to why they pushed it for 5. This is always like this weird position we are in when you lose one before you were at push, right? Do we wait for him? Is it still worth it if we wait? They decided we just do the 5 and force this issue towards point. They will have to engage us while we have invincibility. If they will come here, we will have the upper hand, and they made that work for them really nicely.
Yeah, definitely a lot more solid than I sort of expected, to be completely honest. As now, second mid-fight of the game, nothing really quite happening quite yet. Neon is posturing already. He's going to finally jump in. There's no real follow-up. Double bomb here is Juno. He's actually just holding his own PC. He's doing so much damage to Demo and to Aper as well. Aubriac's already across the point. Echelon goes down, but so is Dandere. Now Neon. He's actually doing a lot of work for his team. Horpy's not dead at all. He's so far back. Nobody on the side of Bionicle can really get to him. The only player on their team that's dead is Mia, but this means that this Vin, sorry, they can just regroup onto second, get all their players back alive, and walk back in with heals, and potentially even an Uber. 2 players, Juno and Potato, however, are deciding to sit in sewer, maybe looking to find something. A back cap, maybe even a kill, who knows?
They want in on the spy stakes from earlier. Let's see if they can make it count here. As people are trying to check for them, they see one of them. Juno jumps through. Potato not spotted. He's really impatient on it. Still works out either way. I do imagine he thought they saw him, and that's why he rushed in early. But it still worked out nonetheless. So they make that one count. 2 going down for a force. Sometimes questionable. They have only the cap now though, so it might be worth it.
I mean, a lot of the time though, if the
big bomb
Finns don't
Neon.
push
Oh,
through
no.
like that, never mind. There's just another push. Neon's gone in, but Dr. Phil is holding choke,
2 for 1.
and he's putting on an absolute show. He takes down 2, maybe even a third. Never mind. He just whips out his escape plan for some reason. Hoppy's the only one alive. Complete disaster on the side of the Finns. They get the kill onto Mia, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, that's
Hoppy's
like
gonna find himself with an ad, but what else does he have?
That's like the complete like extreme of what I was just talking about, right? Like, is like how much do you want to really like throw away for the medic kill here? Boynickel said, yeah, 2 people is fine. The Finns just said, yeah, we can all die as long as our medic lives. End result is they will still have to fight for mid now, but they have this advantage, so maybe the decision pays off for them here as long as they play safe. Phil, Juno testing them for it.
Yeah, Phil and Juno are going in. Ekelund shot dangerously, though. There's so much damage coming across right now. Orbiax is extremely far forward. He's pumping out the damage here. Neon is so low and kind. Lost myself down already. Juno has actually managed to find him as well. Onto second. He's doing so much damage. He actually gets the kill onto Hoppy. Hoppy didn't quite have, and now he's onto the Demo Man. Oh my god, he almost hit that. He hits a huge rocket onto Ekelund anyways. Is that a kill? No. Barely gets out alive, but Juno... That's so impressive.
Yeah, with the drop even, I think it was in the end. Just about. Either way, that's now Uber for the Finns now on Dars, one way or another, where Mia sits at 85, counting upwards, so they're almost ready to go again. And the last one with ad worked out just fine. This time they will have 6 people. They just need some more of the same, hoping to catch the Finns unaware again.
The Uber is now coming in out of 4 this time. Ekelund's actually going to jump really low there to the spam of Orbriak, but Orbriak as well, he's pretty low. Neon and Kai, however, they're dead already. The only player pushing forwards is Ekelund, and now there are 3 players on the point, but a massive bomb from Dr. Phil pretty much kills everyone. Finds kill onto Hoppy at the scout as well, bounces the soldier up into the air with 4 HP. There's nothing really to be done there. Solid push coming out Bionicle there, taking another round. It's 2-0 now, a lot faster. Pace is a lot quicker than the first one.
Yeah, the Finns needs to find some answers. So far, it's just like these minor mistakes in defensive positions, much like last map, that just make all the difference, where Boynickel is looking a little bit more consistent in those same positions.
This time, on the mid, Orbriak is sitting in his own choke once again. Got a nice little sticky onto Ekelund pretty early, but Lost has decided he wants to jump forwards and he doesn't want to press the crouch button. Gets taken down. So does Dr. Phil, but Ekelund and the other soldier, Neon, is dead as well. There's 2 alive right now for the Finns. Hoppy's already out, and there's nobody really with him. Kai is still stuck on mid. He's gonna have to just like hit everything, and it doesn't seem like he actually is. There's 3 players on him right now. Please kill him. Thank you.
I
Juno
appreciate
gets
that
that
Mia was on the hunt for Sauda as well. Just in case the rest of the team still doesn't get the kill. Might as well help out a little bit. Either way, it would have been even one way or another. Hoppy obviously lived this too. So both Matt still standing here with now full Uber and Toast back on Sniper. That's what they relied on in the Cellmates before. Difference being this time they have the lead now by 2 rounds. Sure, there's a lot more time left to play as well, and there was on Sunshine in the same position with the Sniper. But either way, the Finns have to deal with the Sniper much more than Boynickel has to deal with getting the Sniper and getting him something done.
Yeah, Bionicle are trying to take space here into the enemy sewers. Toast is actually just going to peek stickies for himself and just going to get taken down, which is a bit unlucky. Now they're repositioning across choke here as Neon's going to... Okay, whatever. I guess Neon tried to jump, but Orbriak just like pre-fires the first pipe, hits the second one. And that's a very dead soldier.
All planned out, to be honest.
That's unlucky.
Good thing Bedo's watching, so he can already just get on the hunt for the demo here and knock that one down. And now it's Juno's playtime, it seems. They're trying to get him into some sort of play position, but he just can't get the skip of a point. Completely denied, not even allowed to leave anymore. And didn't amount to much for Toast yet either. Maybe, however, the aggression here pays off for them now when the Finns are trying to approach, but it's only really Neon, no one else following through. And that's where it's Potato having to do the defensive work here, and obviously with only one soldier flying in, still fairly easy job for one scout to do as well. Back to Toast sniping as the matter of offense here for Boinicle now.
Yeah, now Toast finally gets a headshot there onto Lost. That's a pretty good first pick. Might be looking forwards, but now Ipa, he's actually finally decided that this time he can take matters into his own hand. He's going to do a little bit of counter sniping. Don't actually think that he's been spotted out. Ipa! That's a really big headshot onto Mia there. Was that a drop?
It must have been. The Sammy has been going for a little while, and they get Juno as well. Neon gets the jump on him in PC, and the attempt to clean up for Dr. Phil just gets him killed too. All they have is Potato hiding on mid around the corner. He comes through, but as a soldier with the medic, they don't play risky here when they don't need to have somebody with the medic at all times. Hoppy living. Key already onto second, trying to make some space. Not really working out as well as he hoped it would. Spawns are here already, at least the few that they have here with the forward spawns. So one single scout not too well off. June actually cleaning up Neon, trying to help out the scout here, where Key is actually the one living, but cleanup is there, it's trade at worst, and they have this ad right now. Not much Boinicle can do here besides waiting out this advantage and making this defense as good as possible.
Dr. Phil's deciding to hold this pretty aggressively, considering the fact that he is at a 50% disadvantage. He does find a soldier here onto the rollout position. He's going to try to fight him a little bit, but it's such a dangerous position to hold. If one more player decides to rush him, he's just completely destroyed. Ipa hits a headshot onto him as well. As the Uber is popped out, Kai goes down, but so does the sentry on Boinicle. But it seems like there isn't really enough position taken. Toast! He's finding the kill onto Hopi, and now Neon Ekelund are going down as well. Lost the only guy forwards. It's just Ipa. Doesn't find any kill at all. That's a complete wipe. Disaster of a push for the Finns.
Yeah, that's where like the early force pays off for the defensive team, right? They just completely scrambled any plans of playing slow here. They just had to immediately rush forward, try to do something with Bieber, but they really just want to like slowly take space, rely on the sniper and spam the gun down early, none of which played out the way they wanted to in the end for the Finns, so it's all falling apart here. They still have people around the mid. Soldier jumps through, does not find Mia in the sewer door, so she will hold on to this big advantage that they clearly want from second or last. And definitely not from mid right now, as it seems to be just getting capped up fairly quickly.
They are capping up mid. They are sitting at 40% ad, which is vastly, really quickly dripping actually. But they are just going to solo in Toast into this rollout area. He's found a kill onto Ipa already. Maybe even a follow-up kill onto the soldier. Never mind, he's going to live. Kai is up now, but he's just going to get taken down by Aubriac. They actually haven't tapped second. Ekelund's going to find Mia, and now, even though he's low himself, he's pretty much done his job. Aubriac just has hit everything. The Uber is coming out, but the sentry gun is up. I think the Finns have managed to hold this fairly effectively. Dr. Phil might even get a kill onto Neon here. Actually, never mind. He's saved. Juno's found the kill onto the sentry, but that's pretty much it. At least for now, Ubers are basically back to being completely even. 10% ad for Hopi. Kai going down to that trap there basically spells the end for any like real push out of the Finns, to be completely honest. Not really sure why Ekelund's this far forward. He's just going to back out again out of PC. Out of one, sorry.
Yeah, they realize themselves this is not a good position to play out of. We have numbers to say no other, like, anything really going their way in terms of advantages in game, be it player or Uber. So they're playing it safe for now, which is just awful in their perspective. They're 2 rounds down on their own last. This is the last place you want to be right now. And they have to deal with it for how matter long it might take for Boinicle to either get a play going and win a round, or mess up so badly that they will just inevitably lose the second point. It's just everybody's least favorite position to be in any match of TF2, and it's so hard to play out of it, but they really can't afford to have it be the option where they lose a round now. A 3-round deficit would be so detrimental.
Yeah, especially Process is just one of those maps where if you want to, you can just slow it right back down. Not take any real fights, play it super slowly. There's actually a little soldier fight onto the rollout. Juno hits some really nice rockets, gets away with this, just this tiny little sliver of HP. This sentry gun is just not being allowed to be built. It's the soldiers, Juno and Dr. Phil, somehow they just really hate Uncle Dane. They just, I don't know, they just don't like NG.
Well, as long as they can keep that up, that's really nice for when they are in a playable position, but unfortunately for now, that's all they are really accomplishing just now, so comes back up right quickly by Ipa, and we're back to square one. Potato checking its spy, decides to still play sniper. I guess it's always nice to just make sure of the like you always have this option when you're spawning, just check around what class anyone might be. So it's nice to see people taking advantage of that as much as they can in whenever they're just in a forward spawn like this in a stalemate. Still decides to go sniper though for the remainder of the stalemate, and a lot of spam by Lost and Eklund actually amounts to 2 free kills total. Really poor defensive here while just trying to get the sniper into lobby.
That is really bad for Boynicle, especially Opiak jumping out already. It's now a solo onto Dr. Phil. He's found the kill onto Lost, but he's gonna have to find like everything else right now. Doesn't even get the force out on Hopi, and now this went for pretty decent for Boynicle to just absolute disaster. They drop 3 there, and then they also get forced because they somehow don't decide to walk back with Orbriak into choke. Bit unlucky. Now the Finns, they are facing they do have an 80% ad. They're pushing through PC, deciding this time around they're going to be moving in. There's a lot of spam coming into it. It's pretty easy to spam. There's also a scout in onto Orby. Doesn't get the force, however. Potato and Juno both dead. Still a 50% ad. They can take this mid, and they can potentially also take second, depending on whether or not Boynicle decide to fight this. They could just keep building and give this up and maybe have the Uber in time for last. They're going to have to be really quick and really effective about it. However, Dr. Phil.
Ooh, that will be a quick kill. I like in the last few seconds here, you could really see the differences between these two teams. The Finns never want to use their force. Boynicle only dares losing 2 for a force down mid themselves, where the Finns just lost everything in an attempt to get the medic and just try to play off of it now for last with the picks they have. Gun goes down right quickly. Still 2 down on Boynicle. They're trying to make the most of the Uber here. They chase down 1. Even numbers now after the spawns. And Key going down as well. They rush the flank there. Allows the combo to get in though. They walk over Juno. That's a good kill to have for sure. Soldier gets rushed as well. Toast cleans up for him though. Neon with wraparound doesn't hit the first rocket. That should spell an end to this last push here. And just one good decision by the side of Boynicle, just rushing the flank here. Don't want the Uber and gets them enough kills to sway this back into the favor.
The control point is being contested.
Yeah, that bomb, that flank from Neon was almost really good. Like he got a second rocket onto me and she almost died, but he just unluckily like wasn't able to hit the first rocket. Because he didn't do that, there was just like so much health. Mia goes down there. There's a very real world where his team does have enough damage. This time, Orbriak is so fast. A nice little rocket onto Lost as well. Just completely denies him. Orbriak's actually so far forward. He's taking a lot of damage here. Mia's super low. Ipa gets a lot of damage onto the medic. But now Juno's incredibly far forward. Really disconnected from his team. He's 1v1ing a soldier with the high advantage, but so far he just doesn't seem to care. He's on 12 HP. Neon hasn't managed to find any kills. He's not hitting these rockets. Now the Uber's popped out both teams. Nobody's really died yet. Dr. Phil's actually managed to back out when Neon's finally dead. Uber's popped. There's a scout on the high ground, but I think Kai is just going to go down here. There's no way. He gets Mia. He gets her. That was... I don't even know what to say.
That was looking like a one fight for Finns. They just needed to clean up the first soldier, and then surely Boynicle wouldn't dare to contest this again. But no, no one was able to land a shot onto Neon. They just decide they're not holding close. We pop through, we fight this, and then somehow Key manages to stand tall against all of that. Ilpa cleaning up Phil now too. Will go down 1-for-1 there. They still have the heals on the Finns, so you just need to be careful around the medic. Boynicle so far just waiting for the heals of their own. Potato still getting caught nonetheless, so it's all going all over the place, and I think that might just be better for the Finns here. As so far the defensive for Boynicle has been looking strong, and that just seems to slowly but surely disappear a little bit here.
Juno is going to go down to not a crit sticky, just him having an escape plan out. That's always a little bit scary. You see that kind of kill icon on the server. He's just going to go down, and there's one kill. It's a 50% advantage, and looks like Boynicle definitely know it. They're already backed out into rollout. Dr. Phil cannot go down this time like he did last time. He's holding way more passive this time. There's a scout and rollout, however. He's just going to check the situation out. They're at 70% already, but the Finns, they're walking in through 1. They're going to have to go in so far. That's a huge bomb from Eklund. He does so much damage. These stickies are crazy good, but he's actually only managed to kill the demo man. Dr. Phil and Toast are dead as well. Uber doesn't come out in time. She actually has the Uber, but just doesn't get the
I don't think
it
would have mattered either way. Like, they just juggled these guys around the point at the end, and that's just free cap time one way or another there. So, yeah, the Finns making it close again. 2-1. Only 1 round difference now with 12 minutes left. That was a sketchy first 10 minutes or so for the Finns, but it seems to be just these, like, messier fights are just so much better for them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on inside of Boinicle. It feels like a lot of the time the scouts are just kind of getting caught out in situations where they shouldn't be. Now the soldier aggression is actually coming out really quick. That's so much damage from Lost and Neon. Only one guy going down, and that will be Neon, but it's just so worth it. Everyone on Boinicle is going down. It's only Potato and Mia left alive. Mia's on 60%. She's already back on Last. They know they can't really hold anything at all. They just have to set up on this Last, get this Uber as fast as humanly possible. The Finns might even be able to capitalize off this. They're actually capping second a little bit slower than I honestly would have liked. But spawners are up on the side of Boinicle now, so we're at an Uber stalemate, but it is Boinicle holding Last this time. It's them on the back foot. It's pretty much everything the Finns could ever hope for.
Question is how they will approach this. So far, obviously, we've seen them try to be just a very active team, try to do as many things as they can at all times. Ipa already doing his damage in rollout, and Ekkelon just happens to get on Juno as well. So it might just work out for them. They still have to get past the big defense of the Uber, the gun, and the sniper here. That's a really hard task at hand now.
Is a hard task indeed, but Toast is on the sniper. Aper is going down. He goes a little bit far forwards. Maybe he's potentially even looking to snipe himself, as sacking in there is actually potentially not even that bad. Toast, however, finds a nice little 150 damage onto Neon. Shot pretty low, but no real follow-up pick is really happening. Is now Toast finally deciding to show that he did play Spy for a while. He did win a bunch of Highlander trophies, including a LAN. I think he might be the one LAN champion on the server right now. He did win a Highlander LAN at some point.
I mean, really, the way the Finns are LAN, they win in our spirits, I think.
Yeah,
and
the
they
Finns
definitely feel like
lost.
winners themselves as well, so that's, I think, what really counts.
I recall a specific moment at Copenhagen Games where I'm walking across to... my team was sitting next to the Finns, and I walk across to, like, get something at my PC. I don't remember what I left there. Something at my PC. And then, like, I don't know who it was. It was one of the Finns, and he just walks up to me, and he has, like, a shot in his hand, and it's like, I don't know what it is. He's just like, hey, drink this. And it's, like, 50% salmiakki shot. And I smelled it, and I was like, no way. I'm not drinking that. It was awful. Neon, similarly, has decided to do what I probably would have done had I taken that shot, which is die. As,
Unlucky.
yeah.
Well, the spy is still around. I hear the decloak noise. Did they hear it? No, they did not!
He gets it!
Going down. Big game changer all of a sudden there. 2 down on the Finns, 1 spawning now. That seems to be prime time to push here. How much does Boinicle want this though?
If you had one moment, if you had one opportunity, would you capture it, or would you just let it slip? It seems like
Ooh, look at Neon, yeah.
actually just wants to get banned.
He spent a considerable amount of time before the game looking for anything on Sunshine, and he did find stuff he never got to use. Let's see if flying around this time works out.
I mean, if his medic can't live, then maybe he just doesn't want to play TF2 anymore.
There comes the
So he
bottom.
just jumps into Mia and actually gets the force. That's a really nice play from him. Luckily for him, that wall clip didn't really do anything. Maybe not important. Please don't ban Neon. I'm just joking. As yeah, he gets the force, which is really good for the Finns. The only problem for me is that they have this sniper, and I'm too jaded. I don't have faith in anyone not called Flippy to actually do something with the sniper class. So I'm just
Kuno
I
is
don't know.
crying right now.
Yeah.
Here comes the bomb door. First of all, before the sniper gets to do anything, it's Juno's playtime, but not for too long. Shut down by everybody in Choke, waiting for that to happen. So they're playing well aware of it. And in the meantime, the sniper sideline is just getting larger and larger on second, and it just denies any attempt to do anything for Boinicle on second here. So they have to fall back. The gun forward, though, catches Ekkelon under a demo down. We discussed earlier. How much is it worth it to push with 5 people? And I think when it's a demo man, that kind of just ruins it all.
Who just duded? Was that Dr. Phil that did the do?
Yes, it's Phil using the horn into lobby. Just in case, you know, in case they still dare without a demo man, just get them out of here. Make a sack attempt out of it. Why not? They're playing in aggressively.
Oh, Pete hit a nice little arrow there on his soldier. Maybe it doesn't matter. Neon gets immediately jumps back up to fight Juno once more after being resurrected from the dead. Just gets airshot once again. The banner was popped. Ultimately didn't really amount to anything. There's even Ubers on both sides once again. Kind of managed to stall the Finns just for long enough. Ekkelon, as you were saying, dying there is so bad. Like, not having a demo and you're trying to push process last is pretty much impossible. the entire enemy team basically just has to throw themselves at you, say, take my life, do something, take the round. Orbriak is holding this dangerously close. This is Sniper. Aper is creeping ever so slowly forwards, trying to find something. He finds a soldier. The soldier finds him. That's a kill onto Aper. He's off the Sniper. Toast gets traded away as well.
Phil
And
weak
now
in lobby, Key rushing him, doesn't quite get the kill. Courtesy of just having a little bit more health with the battalions. Fortunately for the Finnish scout, they're unable to get the cleanup kill. They do still take lobby, they don't want them in this general area, they want to stay forward and active. They have the sniper, so just taking this before he's up might just be for the best of them. Phil wants the damage, however, and that just comes with playing into lobby here.
I mean, can you really blame a man in his pursuit for big logs?
And the dude, yet again.
Yeah. The Duke does come out, but there's also a sniper again. Neon has found himself in the spawn queue once more. I'm actually really curious. I feel like Neon's the player that's died the most. He's just, like, he's constantly sacking in and constantly just dying, I guess. Toast actually managed to find his way behind into his own PC. He's finally walking back out. He's gonna get a kill onto Lost. Finally gets taken down, but that's a lot of room that isn't really being capitalized on that much. Projectile classes on the Finns really doing a lot of work to kind of keep everyone safe and secure. Now, Ape potentially looking for a peek into lobby here, but he has to be so careful, so systematic with this. Be any number of traps just waiting and hiding for him. He's actually in onto the medic, doesn't quite get the peek there. That got my heart racing for a brief second of belief. Zipper goes in, gets the Twitch clip. He doesn't get the Twitch clip. He gets absolutely nothing but another death on his log.
Well, Toast again trying to get into some position here, and they find the dead on him. Bonus kill on Phil as well. Eklund just with some nice patience there to maximize that sticky trap. 2 kills all of the sudden. That changes a lot. Juno trying to play aggro into this, not let them take too much space. Actually, it's just a full-on exchange here. Might just be really nice. The spawns will come in before this exchange ends, as long as they get out of here. They need to make sure of that. Eklund deep without the beam though. Can't get the gun. Key weak, but in the backlines. Going down eventually. Will they play through this? Key is way too weak to do anything though, I think. Finds himself in front of Mia, only one shot before that gets ended quickly. I like the idea by Bionicle there, just aggro into this to just stall for time to get the players back on board.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, losing your demo when you're trying to push in like that is just absolutely tragic. Speaking of losing your demo, man, Orbriak's actually been taken down by Apron now. I mean, the Finns are actually pushing in. Lost has gone down, but so is Juno, and now Bomb's coming in onto Mia. Mia's solo. She's in one, trying to run away. Neon finally finds a kill onto her. She's been hunting for that.
Speaking of tragic, I suppose, that just did not work out for Bionicle here.
Pretty bad.
The Finns just playing against the odds and make it count. Half at, don't quite have it yet. Spawns will come in 2 in a second here, rest in 8 more. They seem to be just taking it patient this time. Wait for the soldiers, play it with everybody. Hope that the hold is not strong enough here against their own push. They need to make this count. Only 3.5 minutes left on the clock here.
Yeah, the Uber's actually coming in right now. Eklund this time hasn't died, but Dr. Phil has. Getting taken down. There's already half cap time already. There's just no one really on the point. Sickies are finally dead, and now Juno and the rest of his team combined to just absolutely mince everyone on the side of the Finns. Complete wipe once again, not quite getting that cap in time. Didn't really manage to clear the point of the players, and the Bionicle just able to come back swooping, killing everyone that's caught out of position there, trying to get that point.
Yeah, they just play point too early with too many, and it will not pay off. Soldier in deep, tries to catch the medic. Mia nowhere to be found, only 2 scouts. Easy job for them, Lost going down. 12 seconds respawn for him, and 60 ad for Mia. Neon, I don't know if he actually wanted to sack there, or just get behind. Either way, he landed behind. Didn't do too much with that. Allowed his team to play a little bit more aggro back into the mid, but it's 2 down now. Is this going to be worth it? Key going down early, jump onto the medic. Hope he catches one of those. Eklund catches the rest of that.
This is an extremely weird fight to take. I'm so confused. I guess they're going for the force onto the medic, but they're just not getting it. And in the process, they just sacked their entire team. Now they're sitting, not only did they lose pretty much all of their players, but they also, like, their medic was alone for most of that. He's only at 70%. Okay, maybe it's fine. There's a definite world where they just don't even push this because Toast is sniping. So, I mean, he hasn't really, he's hit like 2 headshots this game. So like maybe it just doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we all know the saying, right? The best move in this game is not to play. And Bionicle certainly of that idea as well right now. They don't need to win this round, they just don't need to lose it. And with the sniper waiting for the other team to push out the blast, certainly is the right move to make for that.
Neon is on Spy. He's in onto Mia. Oh my god, bro! Every time, man. He walks in and it looks so good, and then Mia just has this little twitch. It's like she's a soldier mate. She just like decides to twitch somewhere. He just doesn't get the stab. Lost gets a kill onto Juno, but that's another round. Maybe? Actually, no. Potato almost capped that. Uber's coming back out. Finally traded. That was, oh, man. It's
A minute
so...
and 20 for this complete turnaround of this round here. Phil just testing the back. Neon was there, but if he gets juggled, it's over.
Warbriak has gone down as well, but
There
that
is.
is a cap. Dr. Phil, he's in behind, gets the kill onto Neon. Nice GG.
I can't
The
really
end of the
blame the
day.
Finns for the play on mid though. It was already like 2 minutes left at that point, 2:30 I think it was. And the moment they go to last without trying anything, it's over one way or another, as we see just now. So they just try to make like the risky play to avoid overtime, pretty much, or that time I guess you should call it rather, as early as possible. But it did not work out, and clearly once they're on last, it was over one way or the other here.
Beecher, if you're still in this stream, I know it's the dead time, but Juno jumped in. He had a crazy ass shot in the demo, man. You need to get that in. Got it? Thank you so much.
Alert. The control
Yeah, I kind of feel, as much as this was a well-deserved win for Bionicle, because they played really clean here overall. Yeah, I kind of feel heartbroken for Finns. They were so close, and after a rough start to the season, this is a definitive step up from I think anything we've seen so far of them. It's still not quite enough. If they were to make playoffs, games like these could easily swing one way or to the other side, but unfortunately this is not quite the case here. This is still just 2 games, not the best of 3, and at the end only one team will take the points home tonight, and that is Bionicle.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the Finns just fall slightly short. I'm really curious, because I don't even think, like, the Finns aren't in that good of a position. I think it's gonna take some...
Yeah, they have 4 points at the moment.
Yeah. It's gonna take some kind of miracle for them to actually, like, even get to playoffs.
How many points are there still left? I'm bad with numbers.
Some amount of points.
It's week 4 now, right? Well, after this game, I guess.
Yes.
That's 24 points, right? I can do math. Yeah. Good. So, I mean, there's still plenty left. But that needs to happen, first of all. And, I mean, like, who do they have left to play? That's probably the other question they have to ask themselves. On Bionicle's end, obviously, they're setting themselves up nicely for success. They have 17 now, I believe, after the first few games. So they dropped a single one against Virtus.pro in week 1 and remain on top of the board. For now, that is anyway. I'm gonna fact check myself on who's playing who next week.
While you do that, I think I have to point out the most important things. I have the logs open. Most important stat the entire game is that Epic got 69% accuracy on his scattergun, which
That has
is
to be intentional.
very nice.
Alright, it looks like Bionicle is playing the Boomers, aka Prem Rejects, next week. And Lentavad Cirkelet, to call him by the right name for one time this entire cast, playing Outsiders, which, yeah, if they drop points there, then it's like, I mean, how realistic is playoffs anymore, right? That's a team that goes into the season as like a team that would have preferred to play Div 2, and they had major roster shuffles to even be happy with their own performance anymore. That's just like a game that the Finns need to win to even stay competitive into playoffs.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of crunch time for them. But at the end of the day, you know, it's one of these things. I think the Finns are, as we've seen, like capable of playing pretty good when they feel like it, and then they're also capable of being drunk and not caring.
Well, this is like the big game theory, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At what point does it help them, and at what point does it hurt them? And I don't have any good analysis on that, but it's definitely a real thing, I think. Where there's like a fine line they need to find where the alcohol powers them up to when it starts negatively affecting them.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite Twitch clip of all time is Dipper after losing the Hive Ground or the Div 1 finals last season. And he takes a little swig of his alcohol. It's really funny. I really like that clip. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They are one of those teams. They can be good, but then they also just like cannot care, and it kind of makes them not play that well. But I think, I mean, they're always going to be around. It feels like at this point they just kind of play. They play pretty well. They all know each other. On the other hand, however, Barnacle are looking pretty solid, actually, honestly.
Yes.
I think this definitely the most I've seen them tested so far, and they came out really strong. I think it's a really good sign for a team to have really, really good soldier coordination that we saw. Like, Juno and Dr. Phil this game put on like absolute clinics. They were so instrumental in the victory.
Yeah, more for sure. I mean, I predicted them to be a finalist team already, and after the first 3 games they played against the guys that made finals last season, a team that many people predict to be a higher seed, if not playoffs for sure, and a like projected like very safe mid-table team, potential like lower players candidate in the Joseph Zone as well, and they handled all 3 of those tests fairly well. And anything else they now have to like left in front of them in terms of teams is like somewhere within that skill range as well. So sure, everyone else can improve, but as long as these guys stay consistent, that's already like a high benchmark for everyone else to have to reach in the first place.
That is true. However, I do believe we have some interviews, Dom. I'm gonna bring in some players. Gonna bring some victors only. It seems like got ourselves Orbriak, Juno, and Potato. How are you guys doing?
Not bad, not bad. How are you guys? How was
I'm
the stream?
so
was it
excited.
good?
I'm alright. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know how I am right yet. Was anyone paying attention to CS?
Yo,
No.
what the fuck?
No, I had
What?
an official. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah,
Talk to me about the game.
That was a fun game.
that was a fun game. It was
I
very
got-
back and forth.
I got to flex my engineer skills.
That's what we're all here for, I think.
I hope you got some nice clips from twitch.tv/Grotzcast.
From him being NG.
Yeah.
Alright, what were like your guys' expectations going into this match, seeing as you obviously played these guys a couple of times already before last season, this season as well, compared to how it actually went down as well?
Last season we kind of threw against them because it was looking like a 6-0, but then we threw and it became a 3-3. So we didn't want that to happen at least, and thank God it didn't. And in scrims, we beat them quite well. So,
Yeah, quite consistently now.
It was.
Yeah.
It felt quite comfortable, but they still somehow managed to make it close. Like I don't know how they do it, or I don't know how we do it. There's something in officials.
We're just natural throwers, Aubrey. That's all it is.
Yeah. So we're
It's
very
in our
happy.
blood.
We still got the 6 points.
I think the difference from last season and the times we've played them before is that we're much more in the groove as a team now. After playing like a whole season together, we're much more on the ball about what each other's doing and our expectations of each other. I
We
think
have
that
a-
helps a lot.
We have a much better scout this season as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Much better scout.
Do you care to shout out who the bad scout was last season? Any names?
Well, Toast is pretty bad, but he's still here.
Unlucky.
Unfortunately, we still have him. So
Yeah, he's the next scout to go, and then Potato.
Alright,
Yeah, 2 gamers.
I think I mentioned just a second ago as well, you guys' next match is against Boomers. How are you guys feeling about that matchup?
No idea. We haven't played them yet.
no, we've been trying to play them, but we
Ooh.
didn't manage to get a scrim. So
In that case,
But judging
Nice
from
guy.
the preseason qualifiers, they look like a throwy team. So.
ooh, a call out.
wow,
Oh,
wow.
oh.
Yeah, Potato's a bit toxic in our team. I'm sorry.
I'm speaking the truth.
Didn't even
Alright.
realise that damn easy's on that team.
Yes. He just
Bro.
didn't play the qualifier match because he wasn't there, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm curious how he'll play because I
Maybe
actually had
washed
to
up.
mark. Yeah, I had
washed-
to mark for
yeah.
that team once because Damazy wasn't there, so I still wasn't able to see him play. So maybe he'll surprise us and completely demolish us, but hopefully that's not going to happen for us.
Who do you think's the
Yeah.
most washed player on Boomers?
Kaya.
Yeah, Kaya. Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Kaya.
Big shout out.
Why is he just bad?
It's not bad, no. He's just washed up now, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
old.
He
Boomer.
used to be really, really good, but now he's washed. Just how it is. You know, skills come and go. Unfortunately.
I thought Beamer would be the most watched, but I played a little bit with him in his official, and he's actually like really hyped to play. It seems, and he didn't perform badly either.
As long as
So,
we replace Snake Water, it's fine.
Yeah, so maybe it's Kaya.
All right,
I can't.
and with that, you guys remain on top of Div 1 for 3 weeks straight now, pretty much. Only dropped a single point week 1, which I at least watched, and that was a really entertaining game as well. How are you guys' expectations for the rest of the season? Obviously, you're setting yourselves up already for playoffs, potentially even more than that.
I'm expecting good things from us this time. I mean, we managed to make playoffs like quite fairly last season, and I think now that we've found our mistakes and, like I mentioned earlier, we've got in the groove. I think we can we can smash it, definitely. Yeah, I don't think there's any teams that we're currently like yikes about. I think we're pretty comfy where we are. I think
think
we've
the
played
most
most teams, haven't we? In Div?
Yeah, most of them. I think most difficult thing is just to keep this up, the groove that we have.
We're going to win ETF 12 Season 35, and we're going to win Copenhagen Games 2020.
Ooh, that's a big call.
That
I mean,
is a big
hey,
goal.
at the rate at which Prem is like destroying itself, that's a very not unrealistic call
That's
to
very
make.
true.
We're
Yeah.
going to be the only team now.
You're
You're
just
gonna
gonna
show up.
win.
You're gonna be synonym
default.
of perfection online, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, we're the champions."
Oh yes.
Then we're going to beat Lathup. He's on that team, right? Yeah.
I would love to watch you try and fight left.
I don't see it happening.
We'll get it set up.
Nice. That is can't wait for that.
Speaking of LAN, I am contractually obliged to shout out Copenhagen Games. It's gonna happen in a couple months. I think
Shout out Copenhagen Games.
it's like the 8th to the 11th
Yes.
of April. That is on my screen. Yes, I can see it right there. It's the same place it was last year with Lokomotivværksted, which is pretty central in Copenhagen. Copenhagen's a really nice place. You should come. It's fun.
The land hall has windows. It's great.
How do you pronounce that location?
Don't listen to him. That was the most fucking redneck pronunciation.
There's a really funny thing where Potato's from the capital, so he sounds like an idiot, and I come from actual Denmark, as we like to refer to it as. So he sounds dumb when he
Can
speaks
you say it
Danish.
again so I can try and pronounce it?
I think Potato should say it.
Alright, potato. How do you say it?
No, I'm nervous now.
Ah, you cowards.
I can
On the
pretend to do a
spot.
Copenhagen accent. That'd be really
Yeah.
funny, wouldn't it?
Got it.
Hilarious. Nice.
All right, enough bullying. I think we can just roll over to shoutouts.
Lokomotivværksted. Sorry.
All right, that out of the way. I think we can just move on to shoutouts now, and then call it a day. So let's start on the top of the alphabet with Aubriac.
Oh shit. Shoutouts to jazz, very underrated music genre. Shoutouts to Barnacle. Shoutouts to Jon, good buddy of mine. Sadly, you couldn't watch this. And the bus crew, good guys in that
I
team.
think he did. That's besides the point. Juno.
Oh, okay.
I'm going
Nice
to give a big shout out to all my MG rats out there, all you 2,100 elo upwards bad boys, fragging hard, grinding hard on that DM. Big shout out to you guys and big shout out to Bionicle and except Toast. He doesn't fuck Toast. No.
All right, Potato.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the lore behind the Bionicle franchise.
I agree with that one.
Go
Yes.
read up. If
As the fourth place speedrunner, yes.
if you have a board, if you have a day off or something, just read Wikipedia. Alright, that's it.
Wendom.
Wicked.
I want to give a special shout out to my favorite story of all time. If you're
The
ever really
Tragedy of
bored, you
Darth
should
Plagueis
Google
Device.
Bionicle Creepypasta. It's
Aw.
really funny. That's
Well,
my
alright.
shout out.
All right.
We'll check that out.
Well, shoutouts to, I guess, to keep in theme, shoutouts to Makuta, shoutouts to my sponsors Feint and TF2Pickup.pl, just helping me out in general. And yeah, shoutouts to both teams here, providing a great show and keeping it competitive, I guess. So yeah, we'll see you guys whenever there's more games to come. And with that, we're signing out.
Thank you.
Hi, old beaver! Away!